Hello. Right, this one's going to be a little bit different because I've got a lot of things to talk about, but it's a bit long to be typing. So, the reason I've not made any videos for a while is because my camera's gone a bit funny for some reason. It'll record for 10, I don't know, a couple of minutes and then stop. So it was difficult getting any footage. Also, I've been using a different editing software, which I'm struggling to get to grips with. I think I'm getting there now. I just felt as though I needed to use a better quality one, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so as you can see in the video, Ratty's getting stripped down again. I'll get into the reasons a little bit later, but I just thought I'd talk over this video because it's just a long time lapse. But I thought I'd mention, or talk about, sorry, how I got into the mopeds. It was about 4 years ago, maybe. Mark, who you'll see in the videos riding around with me and some of the rides out we go, he owns the Harley as well. Mark came down on a Honda Camino that he's always wanted one from being a kid, and he just thought he'd seen one and he'd had a little bit of spare money, so he came down after buying it and said to me, "You need to have a go on this, it's a great laugh." So I strapped his helmet on, had a razz round the estate that I live on. Bear in mind, I've never ridden a motorbike or anything like that, a moped even. 2 wheels was pedal power for me. So I had a razz around the estate. I came back with the biggest grin on my face. I could see what it meant, and as soon as I pulled up I said, I'm getting one. So scoured the internet, ended up with a blue one which became my black and red one after I'd restored it, because I've got an old Mark 1 Mini Cooper from 1967 which I restored, so I'm not frightened of having a go. You'll probably seen it undercover in the garage on some of the videos. So stripped that one down. There's a video on it somewhere. It wasn't actual video footage, it was just photographs, because I never intended making any videos. I watched YouTube, but that was about it. Anyway, and still really, stuff I put on YouTube really was just to document for myself. It wasn't really meant for sharing, but if people want to watch it, happy days. That's great. Yeah, so I got that one. Been out a few rides, loved it. And Mark bought another one. His wife used to have a motorbike, so she was quite happy to ride. So we used to go out together. I thought, God, Mark and his wife go out on them in the summer. Fantastic. I'll do another one up for my wife, Tanya, so that she could have a ride out with us. But she's not very confident on a bike, let alone a moped. Don't like the traffic, don't like driving, to be fair. So I bought her one, and it was part of a trio of mopeds that me and 2 lads from work bought. We went over to Hull for them. Some farmer was selling 3 of them, all needed repairing. He wanted 450 quid, so 150 quid each. We set off in Ian's van, a lad at work, set off in his van, got there, 3 mopeds on pallets. Mine, or the one that ended up being mine, was by far the worst. It was in a million pieces, looked rough as anything. The other 2 were together and complete, but seeing as I'd already restored a bike, one of these, I volunteered I'd have the rougher looking one, so that they could see what bits went where when they took theirs apart. I knew where they went. So anyway, as it turned out, the one that I bought was a 1976. The chassis number's 5,900 and something or other, so it's within the first 6,000 Honda Caminos ever made. It still has all the original features, a little tube on the subframe underneath where I think the carburetor overflow goes. Nuts that secure the fork in the headstock rather than bolts. a bigger hole under the seat where the seat fits. There's a bigger hole and a smaller hole where the bolt goes through. Later ones don't have that. Still had its original engine. The tank, the exit from the tank, or where the fuel tank goes, how the tank goes in line with the frame, obviously, because that's what it fits to. The petcock fits in the same direction. It comes out on a slant rather than straight down, so it's an early tank as well. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so we bought these three. Obviously I didn't know at the time it was a 76, so I would have been a bit more sympathetic and restored it to original colours and so on. But my wife wanted it silver and black, so that's how I did it. So that's the one. She didn't ride it, so it's been put in the shed. I've never ridden it, it's still in the shed now. A little bit more on that one later on as well. So I had two now. Loving life, restoring them, excellent. And then the two lads that came with me, and they bought the other two. One of them restored his. He's on one of the rides that came out with us. It's a black one. The other lad, he got that giddy. He went and bought another one, so he had two. But he lost a bit of interest in them, if I'm honest. He is a biker, but he likes his big bikes. He started racing, so I got a phone call out of the blue one day from him. He said, these two Caminos I've got, we're doing an extension on the house, I need to went to the garage, do you want them? He said, if you don't take them, they're going in skip. So I took them, and that's when one of them was the brown one, which is Ratty, and the blue one, when I first started digging Ratty out of the shed in the very first video of Ratty, the blue one in the background is the other one that he gave me. Unfortunately, he lost the engine for it. How you lose an engine, I have no idea. He lost the engine somewhere between his garage and in dropping it off here. He lost the engine. I have my theory that it slid under one of his driver's seats of his van. A few weeks later he sold the van, and I think that's where it went. Anyway, that one's no documents, no license plate, no engine, so that's just a parts bike now, which I've used a few parts. So getting back to Ratty, it was during the COVID pandemic and all that, I was isolating. I didn't have it, my wife had COVID, so we were all isolating anyway. So I was looking for something to do the week or so that I was at home. It was nice weather, I thought, you know what, let's dig the brown one out. I've got enough parts here between what I've got. I'm going to start restoring that one, but I don't want to spend a lot of money because I didn't intend having that one anyway. So I've got 4 mopeds at the minute. So that's why I decided to do Ratty up, because I was getting bored isolating. So that's why Ratty ended up the way he was. So carried on riding, went out with Mark, his wife. Mark's son then got his CBT, which in England it's a little test you have to do if you want to ride a under 125cc, I think. I never had to do one because I'm that old. You get it as what they call grandfather rights. If you passed your test before a certain date, you didn't need to do it. You could ride a 50cc moped with no L plates on or anything. That's why I ride one now without the L plates. So I've been out for a few rides and I got the itch. I wanted to do my bike licence. I've never done my bike licence in the past because my dad nearly died on a Norton coming from a ride above Oldham once. Nearly killed himself, and my mum told me she never wanted me to get a motorbike, so I never did. Never entered my head until now. Mark's got a lot to answer for, that's for sure. So I've got an itch now. I want to go further. I want to go out with Mark when he goes out on his Harley. So I've decided I want to do my bike test. The plan was to do it this year. So going back to the video, this is the point of the video. I'm stripping Ratty down. I'm stripping Ratty down. I'm going to try and restore him using original parts, getting looking fantastic, and then sell him. So it won't be called Ratty anymore, but I suppose that name stuck, but I'll be selling him. My wife's bike, the silver and black 76, will also be getting sold, because she's no intention of riding it ever. That's fine. So the idea is I sell both of them. Hopefully the funds from one will pay for my licence and my test, and the other one will maybe put a deposit down on a bigger motorbike. My wife's happy to go pillion. Excuse me. If you've seen one of my videos, she went on the back of Mark's Harley. We went for a ride out. She loved it. So I'm not sure I'm a Harley Davidson type person. I like old British bikes, old British things, hence why I have the old Mini. So I quite like the look of the Royal Enfield Continental 650 GT. That's sort of my era. I want a modern bike because I don't want it to break down. I want to be able to go places. So anyway, that's the reason for stripping Ratty down, because he's going to get rebuilt and they're both going to get sold on. So that's where I'm at the minute. Adding on to that, why I may not do it this year. I retire from my occupation that I do now. I have to retire in 3 years. That's just the way it is. You have to retire from my job at a certain age. So I've decided I'm going to start myself a little business. I'm going to be carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, something that I can do as and when suits me. I can maybe shift appointments around if there's a nice day, so I can carry on going out on my bike. That's all looking to 3 years ahead. So I'm building up the business now, and hopefully in 3 years I'll be doing it part-time while enjoying going out on the motorbikes. So I'm not going to spend the money that I sell these mopeds. I'm going to spend it on a carpet cleaning machine and all the equipment and setting up a business. The thinking behind it is, once I've done that, any money I earn from now until I retire will go into getting my test done and get a motorbike bought. So they are still getting sold. I will put another little video up, although I haven't recorded any of it because of the problems with my camera. I've taken photographs, so it'll be a 5 to 10 minute video just showing you the progression of doing the work to Ratty. Once it's done, it's up and running, which is pretty near to it now. I've just ordered a few parts, a new petcock, fuel line and registration plates. I've bought them now. Them are the last few things that I need to go on, and then I can start him up. Once I've done that and I've got the red and black 76, sorry, the silver and black 76 out of the shed and got that one going, they'll both be up for sale. So I don't know if anybody who watches these videos will be interested, but they will be for sale. I'm not really that keen on sending them abroad because it means palletising them and all the rest of it, so it'd probably be only to people who perhaps live local to me or further afield. If you want to come and get it, that's fine. Well, that's the plan. And like I said, the only last bits are these, the registration plate and the fuel side, and I can tell you he looks absolutely mint, absolutely fantastic, looks brilliant. I've had some nice compliments from the neighbours anyway. Again, I'll put a small video up showing you how we built him up again. But thankfully I did most of the work on the engine side of Ratty. When I did him up initially, all the engine work and all the bits and pieces were already done, so I know it'll run fine. Good little runner. Anyway, I've done enough rambling. That's where I'm up to, and hopefully this summer we'll get some decent videos out of different ride out that we're planning. I still want to do the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride on him with a little suit on. Well, not a little suit, a big suit for me. Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Anyway, enough of me waffling. I'll see you in the next one.